Morning, good morning, good morning. Um, okay. I had some random person message me last night on my like personal messenger, not on Facebook, but on my phone. And I'm like, they kept going, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Have you ever had that? You're like, seriously, your phone number has been deleted from my phone when I got my new phone. I have no clue who I'm talking to. So, and I couldn't get them to understand that I couldn't see who they were. It was so funny. So we spent about an hour going, I'm going, no, no, really, I don't know who you are. It just good morning. So I'm going to pull a card, but I already know what I want to talk about this morning. Good morning, Charity and Isis and Beth and Dennis. Good morning, everybody. I know what I want to talk about, and it's going to be quick this morning because today is my reading day. And I looked at my schedule yesterday, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's this limited number of appointments. And then I looked at it last night, and I'm completely booked, which is wonderful, you know. And I cut back. I used to be like slam, slam, slam. I'd work 2 days a week. And I set my intention that I wanted to slow down. So I slowed down. And now we're going back into the new year and it's going to speed back up again. Let's see. No update on my package. Samantha, everybody is getting them very late. From what I'm hearing across the board, they're like 7 to 14 days. It's ridiculous. So anyhow, let's talk really quickly. We're going to pull a card. What are we going to pull a card from? Really? We don't want to use that today, do we? No. Okay. Well, I don't want to. So look at me being resistant. Resistant. Who argues with their guides? Who argues with your guides? I do. Mainly Archangel Metatron and I have words quite often about like, I don't know if I like that. And then I lose in the end, but it's okay because, we had a nice little banter. It's been 3 weeks. Holy crap. I will check your, did you check your tracking? Did you check your tracking? Yeah. USPS has been awful. I really feel bad for the postal people. Always book time for you, not to do list, to be list. I'm telling you. Hi everybody. Good morning. Good morning. If everybody could share one time, that'd be great. We're pulling a card this morning. Good morning, way early morning, Renee Lloyd. This is from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, but we're going to talk about something, it's gonna fall in with this card. I know. It's going to be about making our lives easier, and I'll tell you how I come across that in just a minute. I was very frustrated. I went and I put packages out. And good morning, Vicky, Vicky Roop. And I thought my coffee was sitting there for me. And I got back and I didn't have any water in my coffee pot. I was like, it's not the way to start this. Oh, shoot, there's our cards. Okay. And this is important stuff for today. Important. You know what, Glenn Fry, don't give me a problem, man. I got up a little late this morning. It's 10:15 here, and I start in a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about perseverance. We're going to talk about being a little bit hard-headed and how when we walk through life, sometimes we walk through and we're like, you know what? If I just give a little leeway over here and I don't stick to my guns because it may not work for me, but it might work for everybody else. It's okay to be flexible, but you don't have to like throw in the whole towel and say, your way is perfect. It works for me in every single way. How many people have done this in their life? We've all had a moment where we go, it is so much easier to just say, you do it your way and we'll be all fine. There comes a time in life when we have to do what works for us. We have to say, this is going to be better for me, or I feel like this is how our family should be working, or we need to take and make this change, or we're going to have an issue. This is something that we don't want to be the hard ass all the time either, but we do have to have a working relationship with those in our life that says, hey, we have to have a balance of, and I guess the best way to put it is a balance of power. And I hate to put it that way within a relationship. That's just where this is going at the moment. Because it is important to have both sides heard, all right? Or one person feels lost. That's what they're talking about. And it's also important to be very authentic, because we need to be there for each other when we need each other. It is important. This is about family this morning. I didn't anticipate this morning. This is about family this morning, and making sure that you can be that person, that the other person needs to be strong. They don't always need to be the strong person. Okay. And you don't always need to be the strong person. There has to be balance in all things, in all things. But most specifically this morning, I guess we're talking about relationships, that we need to have some balance, and somebody needs to make sure you're not just getting lost in the relationship, and make sure you are establishing balance. Because I got to tell you, Sam and I had this balance struggle for years and years and years. And it was me. I was very forceful in how I wanted things to go, because I was already I I was very the way I was raised. My mother always said to me, never rely on a man. Never rely on a man. And she should have never done that. She shouldn't, because what she said to me was, you can't trust a man. That's really what she was telling this young child. And I mean, I heard this my whole time growing up. And so what I grew up doing was, there's no way I'm not going to work my ass off and support my family, because I know I can't trust a man to do it. And it took me years, and hours and hours and hours of us owning a business, and me being we have to do this. We would stay till 10 o'clock on a Friday night, because Friday night was my bill night. There was no leeway. And it wasn't just, I had to sit there and pay the bills. Everybody in the family had to sit there. The kids got off the bus there, and it was no leeway. I had no leeway. And it took a lot for me psychologically, which really, okay. When we sold the shop and we moved on and we moved to Ohio, um, it took a lot for me. I fell into depression. I was very anxious. I was not happy, because I wasn't in that seat of control. I was relying on Sam, and I was terrified that he would drop the ball and not financially support us. And you need to know that Mr. Fry, I mean, he does it in fine style. He works his ass off, and I never trusted him for that until I started my spiritual journey. And then I started to realize that all of this was energy, and I was creating my own anxiety. So I don't know why we had to talk about this. I had something to talk about this morning, and it was making life easier, and that was not it. But I guess it kind of does segue into it, doesn't it? Both parents taught you to be independent. Mine taught me to be independent to a fault. Independent to a fault. And we pick a lot of stuff up from our parents, and it is sometimes harder to break those chains. Jeffrey Davis, yes, of course I believe in Jesus. Absolutely. Incredible prophet. So, it is important to find that balance, you guys. Diana, no worries. By the way, let me know when your package gets there. Diana is another one that's having a problem with that. Renee Lloyd, it is right. I never realized that I had a problem with this until I started my spiritual journey. I just thought I was always going to be self-reliant. I was never going to have to be dependent upon anybody. And let me tell you what, it affected everybody in our family. Affected everybody in our family. So, but the other thing I want to talk about today, because I really only have a brief time, is this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this, right? This is a quiz. What is it? I'm going to give you, and I'm going to guess you're going to have the wrong answer. What is this? What is this to me today? Oh, you're going to video when you get it? Awesome. Oh, please let it be in one piece. You're 63 and still dealing with it. And really, it can be a reason for having that conflict in relationships, right? We never trust them. We never trust people. What's up? get it fixed?
Yeah. He tried to blame our internet for it.
Yeah. He couldn't?
Well, he blamed our internet for it, but he had to uninstall and reinstall the software. And she was started working.
Okay. Oh, good. So, yeah, it's the mouse internet connection to all of us. No, this is my venue today for making my life easier. I have been, and this is what I wanted to talk, cordless mouse. Everybody's like, yeah, it's a mouse. It is a mouse. But this today represents my, why have I tortured myself for the last 2 months? I have another mouse. I just bought this mouse the other day and I just turned it on today. I have had it in the car for 3 days. This has made my life so much easier. I did not realize just how much I had settled into my old mouse. I kept dropping it and it was destroyed. I mean, really, guys, you destroy. I'm sitting here going like this and I moved just a little bit and I hit. Then I would have to hit my tablet here and then move just a little bit. And then I would move over here and it wouldn't work. What? I have a limited amount of time.
There.
That's the deck I was reading from. So what I had, I'm sorry, it is the Jody Bergsma Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And so what it is represents, why did I resist? And this is really what was going through my mind when I opened this. Why did I resist going to the car and just making my life easier? I know that this little thing, my little pet mouse, this one little thing was going to make my life easier today, as well as the new office chair I'm sitting on. And I kind of stepped back. I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to install it. I didn't want to do anything because I was very comfortable with that old ratty ass mouse that was not working. It was not working. And it didn't matter that it didn't work because I didn't want to create the change in my life today. It makes things easier, I guess. But then I kind of went, you know what? I have a whole day ahead of me. I'm tired of fighting it. I'm tired of fighting with a stupid mouse. And I know it sounds silly, but it really does represent to me today. Okay, Lisa, why are you resisting this year? What are you doing? Why fight it? Why not just get the stupid mouse out of the car and do it? But I don't even know. It's weird. But we do things like this to ourselves, you guys, where we keep doing the same things over, even though we know they're going to be difficult and we're not. And we have maybe the tools to make our life easier, but we still hit ourselves against the wall. So what are you hitting yourself against the wall about today? Kind of think about this afternoon. Good morning, Abuelita. I just messaged you. Think about this today. What is the one thing that would, if it was fixed or if it was maybe even new, what is going to make your life easier? And I'm not saying being easier is lazy at all. I'm saying we create our own obstacles, right? I created my own obstacle here. I dropped that other mouse on the floor like 10 times. Yes, Jeffrey Davis. I'm just going on and on. You know why? Because it's my feed. I do that. It's called story time. So it is important to evaluate some of the things in our life that are making us feel like we're running against the wall and hitting obstacles, and figure out how change our programmed limiting beliefs. Absolutely. Okay. So here. So make sure we actually did a class last night on EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping, and how to release old stuff. So what we're talking about today is, what is the things we need to identify that we need to change, whether it's stupid little things like a mouse, or when you get yours, Nancy, I want videos of all these boxes that are going to come in. They're going to come in directly after the New Year's, you guys, and we're all going to be like, phew. Phew. Ours was delayed. We have about 14 boxes coming today of crystals. So it's Lisa story time. Yeah. And we, but there is things that come out of it. The EFT was excellent. Yeah, we were very, very lucky to have actually a professional EFT person in class last night, and she talked about it with us. So that was really, really, really nice. I wish I had time to answer everybody's questions today. I am going to try and get on this evening. I know I keep saying that, but I'm going to try and get on this evening, maybe after I do my last reading, and go from there. Okay. Because I have a busy day. Yeah, she was great, and she was very tolerant. And I have to figure out a new format for class. I really do, and I know I have some people that are anxious about the format of the class. Not because the class is live. We're really enjoying doing the live class. We're just going to have to do a different question and answer session type of that because it's too disruptive to have people asking so many questions during classes. So we're going to have to change the formats. If you guys have suggestions for that, please go to the private membership. If you're part of the private group, go to the private membership and offer suggestions up on how to what your suggestions would be on tweaking that, because we do need a different process. I love tapping. That's one of my favorite things I learned from one of the classes that I took. Tapping is amazing. It is easy. It's something that we can remove obstacles with. Like, why the hell was Lisa resistant to change? Oh my God. Things like that. So tapping is amazing. Let go of what's holding you back and just sit with your emotions, as sometimes they're not your own thoughts or feelings. Hello, good morning, empath. So do not attach them to them, love and light. Yeah, Lori, throw the comments out on the private membership group. I'd be really, really interested in seeing what your comments are on that, and then we'll talk. Gala, if you're open to it, and if he's open to it, we can send love and light his way and some healing energy. And yeah, I will send some healing energy that way. Yeah, Nancy, put that comment, and I have a reason for that, you guys. I have a reason for I'm not deflecting. I have a reason for those comments to go on to the private membership. I'm going to start a string on there today. Matter of fact, I'll do it as soon as I get off of here, because I need everybody in the class to see that. Okay, and it's just yeah, wasn't it really amazing, Isis? It's really informative. I'll tell you what, tapping changed my spiritual journey totally, in the course of 2 weeks. Yeah, Renee Shaw, I'm like, I get it, I understand. So I'm having to. How can you watch last night's class, Kelly? You're in membership. Last night's class will be up. I've already processed it. It's going to take a bit because it's almost 2 gigabytes, and I have to trim it out. So it'll be up later today. What you'll do is you go to mymysticallife.com and you'll sign in. If you guys are not in the membership, this won't work for you. If you're in the membership, this works. If you go to My Mystical Life, log in, and then head to your library, so it'll be up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I can see I have to go to Periscope and walk a smartass. So, all right, guys. When you're young, you're a sponge. It's amazing. This is Renee Lloyd. The power of words and how strong and what an impact people have on their kids. Isn't that amazing? It really is. It is. Amy Trawick. We're talking about emotional freedom. It is the emotional freedom technique. It's called tapping. It's also called EFT. So it is, you start here, you go here, 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 down here, under the bra line, in the bra line, and then top of the head. It is about releasing, stress and anxiety. And it is just really efficient. It's about working with the meridians on the body. It's really, really, really kind of cool. It works really quickly, and it's hard to fathom that something that could work that quickly and that fast. Okay. So anyhow, you guys, that's on the membership. The membership, if you're interested in that, you go to latebloomers.com, or no, mymysticallife.com, and the late bloomers tab. When I do it, you get a tingle. It's really amazing when you go in and you check in with yourself again. If you're honest with yourself when you start and you're honest with yourself when you stop, and you work with it until your intuition tells you not to anymore. Or she said you feel like you've been drinking wine. That it's just really interesting how it works. So anyhow, you guys, when you get a migraine, it usually takes it away. That's awesome. You practiced this morning. It really, so who had asked me that? Kelly had asked that. So log in to My Mystical Life and go to your library tomorrow morning. It'll be there. I'm going to take a long day. It's going to be a long day to process it. I know. Yeah. Make sure you guys are writing it down. Writing it down. Good morning from all in Oklahoma. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. The classes start at $11.11 a month. They are 4 live classes a month, in addition to some other things that we do. We do healing sessions. We do interviews. We do an intuitive interview so we can expand who we're trusting with, working with our intuition. We also do a member interview. We also do guided meditations. We do chats, all sorts of stuff. So, when does the January Late Bloomers class begin? January 5th is the Late Bloomers Intuitive Development class. And then if you're interested in the mediumship, if you've already if you're very confident working with your guides, you're already out there a confident reader, the mediumship classes starts in January as well, but it's on Monday. The Late Bloomers is on Tuesday. Mediumship is for people that are confidently working in their field. Do you have any degrees in this? I really don't understand how anybody can get a degree in this. Honestly, I've looked at taking classes on doing some of the things that I do, and I stepped back from them because I didn't like anybody to say, this is the way you're going to have to do it. If you don't do it my way, you're wrong. That is not how I teach. I teach people that you are unique and your guides are going to work with you uniquely. And if you have somebody say, this is the way you do it, or you're not doing it correctly, you run the other direction because you are absolutely special and unique. And that is how your guides are going to work with you. And when I started doing, for an example, Akashic Records, I'd had an Akashic Record reading. I thought it was really cool. Looks like a white spider on the wall. Oh no, that's a hold on, I'll show you. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay, I can't show you. They changed the settings. It's a thingy. A graphic. So when we step forward on our spiritual journey, I didn't even know who Saint Germain was. I had no idea who Saint Germain was. Here I was sitting in Hawaii, just meditating away, and this guy was surrounded in purple come around and started talking to me and was talking about all sorts of stuff. And that's how I walked into the Akashic Halls the first time, between him and Archangel Metatron. And if you can get that connection with your guides and learn directly from your guides, which is where you're interested, you spiking up that intuition, what is a better teacher? I'm just helping you learn how to connect to your guides. Yeah, you have to find the fit. You have to find the fit. And we are a class. We do a class, okay? But I think that we have so much leeway in our class that we learn from each other. And it is important to be able to have that wiggle room. I'm not going to say, this is how you meditate. And if you don't do it this way, you're wrong. No. Jeffrey Davis, we're not going to talk about anybody's saviors. That's not what we do here. You didn't find an EFT teacher that was not rigid. I'm glad we met the lady in class last night. She seemed open to working and making things fit. Yeah, she's really nice. That was her first class with us. If they say it's their way, run, you guys, run. Right, because who has ever seen two intuitives work the same way? We don't. We don't. We don't do that. Okay. All right, guys. I start work and not work, reading. And it's snowing. Keep it. Keep it. Keep the snow. I don't want it. Okay. Just learning, being open to trust. You have to be open to trust. And who are you being trustful of? Here's the question, and this is the last thing I'm going to do today. And I know you guys, some of you guys will know the answer to this. Some of you guys, when you're working with your intuition, and this, Jeffrey Davis, is why we don't discuss this. Because if Jeffrey Davis says you might be misleading people, everybody's going to believe their own thing regardless of what I say. So please keep the religious discussion off. I do not discuss religion. Structured religion, do not discuss it. So we're not doing that. So who are we trusting? Who are we trusting when we step into our intuition? Anybody that watches might know the answer, should know the answer. Who are we trusting when we step into our religion and do a reading? The crystal sale on the 1st is going to start at 2 p.m. Central. When we step into a reading, who are we trusting for accurate information? When we step in to do as a reading, as an intuitive, who are we trusting to do a reading? I see answers. So here's what I have to say, you guys. There you go. There we go. If we are trusting ourselves, we are and there's no better way for me to put it than the way Metatron does it, than the way Metatron did it for me. When he 2x4'd me, he said, I woke up one morning and I just woke up, and when I woke up, I had been dreaming, and Metatron was in my dream. And I was terrified to get online. I would only do readings online. I would only type out readings. Okay. And when I woke up that morning, I had this realization that the reason I was worried about doing live readings is I was worried about being correct. Who else has the stress of being correct? Who else has the stress of, if I'm reading, am I going to be wrong? Am I going to be wrong? That's ego. When we're stepping into doing reading, and this is really a big thing we talk about in class, when we're stepping off into doing readings, Metatron was like, do you trust me? And I went, well, sure, I trust you, but I could be wrong. And he says, but do you trust me? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, then just give what I get, even if it's just you explaining what you see or what you hear. Just give what I'm giving you. And I got online. And what I found out was I could free fall, trust fall right into Metatron. And everything that come across was his message and not mine. His message and not mine. So trusting my guides and trusting my archangels is amazing. And when you start to let an ego, we all have ego, you guys. We all have ego. It's how we survive. Okay? So when we trust in our guides and step out of the way of the outcome, we got it. We got it. It is how we are supposed to be working. Because if you are so invested, hold on a second, you guys. If you're so invested in the outcome, you're not going to give accurate information across, because you're going to have your stress and your ego involved in that. Step away from the information. It may not make sense to them right now. It may not make sense to them 5 minutes from now. But it's going to make sense to them eventually, because it's guided information and not ours. Okay? I feel connected to try harder, like a message. what we do and what makes somebody an incredible reader, okay, is your ability to understand the message and put it out your mouth. That's what makes somebody a reader. There's no hocus pocus or woohoo. We all have a spiritual team. If you guys knew how many people were around you, you'd probably feel claustrophobic. We all have a spiritual team. The trick is listening and putting the puzzle pieces together. So that is where it comes from, you guys. Let's see. One second, you guys. You know, and people fixate. I don't even understand people. I don't understand people. Well, that's a thing. Okay. I'll get rid of the troll later. It's all good. I don't need people. I don't need negative people in my life like that, you know? It's ridiculous that and I can't seem to. Jeffrey Davis is a troll. So just ignore him. It's all good. Sometimes I'm amazed what I am saying in a reading. I know that is because when we're bringing messages across, we just kind of like. Have you always had this knowledge since your young age, or did you work on your ability? I didn't open. That's why we call it. That's why the late bloomers class that I teach is called late bloomers. I did not start this until I was 38 years old. Now I can think back to times in my life where I might have done things that other people thought were a little weird, but I didn't really pay attention to them at the time. When I turned 38, I had a change in life. I had to either do one thing or another. I could revolve in depression, or I could pay attention to this other thing over here. You mentioned a movie last night in class, The Secret. Is that the one? The Secret? I know, just ignore him, Donna. When I get to Periscope, I'll just block him. It's yeah, he's on Periscope, you guys. He's on Periscope. Religious fanatics, whatever. He's talking that do I use the Ouija board? No, I don't use the Ouija board. What a dumbass. Some people do, which is fine for them. I don't. That's fine for me. Everybody does their own damn thing. Oh, here, Amber Allen, this is a great question. And then I do really have to go. If someone that is deceased that you haven't thought about in years suddenly comes into your mind, are they trying to communicate? We get hints like this all the time, you guys. We get hints like this all the time. Yes, they come in. Yeah, it's The Secret. They come in all the time to check in on us. So it all the time we are seeing little pieces. You hear the people talking about the pennies from heaven, or the robins, or not the robins, the cardinals. So yeah, I know, Renee. It's all he's shouting is his own indoctrination, his own fears, and fear mongering is not what we do here. We don't. I have been able to sit long enough that I can listen since I turned off the news. Isn't that the truth? Don't listen to the news. Whatever. You guys should be glad you don't see us. I have to remember that. He's so insignificant. None of you guys can see his comments. I'm not mad. Jeffrey Davis. I'm kind of amused because the people on this feed have grown beyond that indoctrination. There we go. Okay. All right. I really have like 17 minutes before my first person. So I suppose I should actually, the news is depressing anyways. Who wants to watch the news? You have a ton of cardinals? That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. So you guys, if you're here first time, I'm going to try and get back on like 6 o'clock Central this evening. Unless Sam has me working on the floor, and then I'm still going to get on at 6 o'clock Central. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So catch me this afternoon. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon. You don't think you have those in California? They're beautiful redbirds. No, we don't focus on depression here. When we really get rolling, Kelly, I don't think you've really seen us rolling. Yvonne, do you see anything about the virus? When will it end? My guides say that things will die down. End of February, we're going to feel like things are coming back to normal. And that's kind of the time frame I've been given. Oh, I can't wait to see the room when it's finished either. The living room's almost totally floored. Oh, I gotta go. Squirrel. Okay, I have to go, you guys. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon. I hope everybody finds that one thing that might be your mouse for the day, that one thing that's standing in the way of things going much smoother in your day, and figure out how to smooth that out. And make sure you have some equality going on in your balance of power in your life, because that's equally important as well. All right, guys, have a wonderful afternoon. Be blessed. Find joy, find love, find light. And if Sam was in here, he would tell you, let the light be with you always.